Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm so excited. My good friend Delany Delaney is here with us, bright and early for her, but she's here with us today. And we're going to be talking about vibrant living in tumultuous times. We're going to talk about, we're going to discover how vibrant living is possible now, even with the lockdown, because some of us are still in the lockdown and others getting out of it, but, it's happening. We're going to learn about the power of three. So we're going to learn 3 simple steps to presence, peace, calm, and clarity. We're going to learn how to create your optimal frequency with sound. We're going to know how to stop that busy brain syndrome. We all have that. And we're going to talk about releasing doubt, fear, and worry with an ACE event. So we're going to talk to Delany about that in just a moment. And for those of you who don't know Delany, this is, I want to say this is the second time that you're on our show, but did you? I don't know. I think you were supposed to be on one other time and it didn't work out, or you were. I don't even remember now. So it's like, it's interesting. I can't remember. I think you were supposed to be on.
Yeah,
before.
This is my second time.
Okay, so you were on before. Yeah. See, it's like, yeah. Awesome. Good.
A couple of lifetimes have
yes,
traversed since that first visit, I've got to say.
Yes, exactly. So much has changed for sure. Absolutely. Wow. So for those of you who don't know Delany, she is she's been on our show before. Yay. And she's one of those people who have lived, I remember now the conversation. I remember the show now. She's one of those people who have lived many lifetimes, even just in this body. And in the past few years, it seems there's been a lot of change, right? So she's won awards, traveled the world, facilitating workshops and performing. And her dynamic work with people living with labels of disabled, she calls them uniquely able, has been groundbreaking, opening up portals for new energies of inclusion that continue to grow today. And so we're going to talk to Delany about, what's been going on in her life in the past few years. And also, what we can do now, how we can live more vibrantly during this time and moving forward, right? It's not just about right now. So don't, this, as far as I'm concerned, this is not going to last, but it is right now. So Delany, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's so wonderful to be here.
I'm so glad you're back.
Those of you who've shown up live.
Yes.
Me too.
And I'm glad you're here on video as well.
I know. I had to send a message going, are we on video? Oh, that really does mean I better get up.
And put makeup on,
zhuzh myself up a little.
Yes, exactly. And I'm glad because it's just much more fun, right? So
yeah.
So
it's lovely to see you. Yeah.
So tell us, Delany, what has been going on? I know, like when we talked a few, it's not even months ago, maybe 2 months ago, you were in India at the time, having a wonderful time, and oh my God, we had such a wonderful conversation, and I was like, so jealous. It's like, I wish I was there with you. So tell us about that and whatever else has been going on with you.
Well, it's been a wild few years. I had been like a member of a group, and I moved out of that got so much from being with those people, but moved out of that. I really knew I was definitely being called to step into me. And so that journey continues. Mm-hmm. I don't think that will ever end. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And, but to jump from there to India, I really wore myself out, even though I know all the stuff and I know all the tools and all of that. Last year, I really, really pushed my body to the extreme, even though I was doing a lot of nurturing. So this is really interesting. You think you're listening to your body. I was living in Bali, massages like a few times a week, not just once a week, like all of this, great diet, all of this stuff. And yet I really wasn't listening properly because I got really like my joints, and I was just a wreck by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I really looked at, okay, I don't want to be here if it's like this. And I had a chat with the universe and the light beings. And I got very strongly what a choice that was, my choice was to be here. And I had this real epiphany and really got strongly go to India, do an Ayurvedic retreat. And it was very left field, like that was not in my plan. And anyway, I went, okay, if that's what it's going to take. And so that just created so much in my life. I did what they call a panchakarma, a very big detox, which detoxes you on all levels. So I got way more communion and connection with myself. I really connected with the Ayurvedic doctor, and my partner and I returned there a month or so later, and we've begun a book project, which, like anything, is so much more than the book. Yeah. But so learning a lot of different information and just having this amazing time. Yogiville, please go and have a look at it online. It is just such an amazing place that has been built over the last 9 years. And so we were there, and again, further detoxing, yoga, breath work. I've worked with breath before, but I now know more than ever the power of breath it's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal, and something we're all really needing right now for our immune systems. If nothing else, I mean, we need to breathe to actually move, but it's also like to work with your breath, because what everybody here is asking for more awareness, for more connection with yourself, aren't we? That's what we're all doing. And so that's what we're all asking for. So connecting with your body and your breath is essential to get to where you're present, to be at the center of your reality and not constantly at the effect of everything else. And particularly with what's going on now, that has really come to the fore, to have that inner calm, to be able to call on that, because we're going to be hit with stuff, and we're still going to have, reactions at times where we're stressed or whatever that is, but to be able to very quickly go from that to, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The breath can take you there. And, like right now, using breath work, is going to help with the COVID stuff, because it is a respiratory virus, we're going to call it whatever. But so breathing is going to help you to stay strong, stay immune to it. And, the breath is what takes you to your heart, takes you to who you truly are, is the breath, right? It's not the mind, it's through breathing. And, I always, like, in the past, I used to say, oh, I can't breathe deeply. I just can't breathe at all. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me, right? I can't breathe. But I have found in the past couple of years, as I've been doing my own healing work, I do a lot of breathing. Like I'm constantly telling my clients, take a deep breath in and whatever. Like I'm constantly breathing. And when I'm doing the healing work, I'm constantly breathing. It's coming in through the breath. And so, it's like, we don't recognize how powerful our breath is. Are we focused on our breathing? Are we focused on our body? Are we just in our head? Are we allowing that chatter, that busy brain, take over, which we do sometimes, to be honest. But the more that you can reconnect back into your breath and to who you are, that will help and give you so much more ease, right?
Absolutely. And also the thing going along with that is getting that heart brain coherence, like going, so that like our bodies are such a gift. And I know that you all know that. I know that you are all aware of that. And yet I still, no matter how much I learn or remember, I am in constant amazement of the gift. And when I discovered through the HeartMath Institute was where I first read about, and Greg Braden actually, where I first read about the brain in the heart, which is just, and you've got to love the universe's sense of humor, because the scientist who discovered it, his name is Amore. And that you have within your body this assistance to presence to your deep, deep intuition, your deepest knowing, you know, that stuff that at a gut level and beyond, you know, where there isn't doubt. And so connecting with that, and the power of 3 is a step process about that connecting, stopping the head chatter and getting out of judgment. Because what we do often is, oh God, I'm doing it again. And okay, if you have that reaction, but then what's your next movement going to be?
Yeah.
What's your next choice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can get so caught up in the, oh, I've blown it. Oh, I'm not perfect. Oh, this. Oh, and before you know it, you can have totally gone off kilter. You're down a rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're needing now, and this is not going to, you know, this particular lockdown, we're all coming out of it in certain ways, but life is not going back to how it was at this point. It's never going to, because we're never going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And what I get a sense of is our presence, our connection with ourselves, the peace and calm. You want to make money, you can't be in that space of worry and stress, because that's not what gives you that. You have to keep letting go and trusting. You have to ask questions and you need to take action, but you have to come from the space of calm. It's being shown to us so dramatically now. It's almost like, well, you can choose not to, but if you want to have a life that's got happiness in it, you have to choose this. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the thing, is like, you know, like 5 minutes before we were supposed to go live, I realized, oh my goodness, the live page still has the information from yesterday. It's like, oh crap. So I, you know, it's like, okay, I it's like, oops. So then I quickly went over to my other computer and I did it, fixed it all up in 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes. It's like, so that was like, I was totally calm. I was just focused. I was just doing it 3 minutes. And it's like, yay, you know, it's like, oh, and then it's like, wow, I'm amazing. I can do that in 3 minutes. So it's like, that's really good. You know, so here, you know, instead of stressing myself out, instead of judging myself, why did you forget? Why did you not do it? Oh my God, how stupid, or whatever, you know. Instead, it's like, oh, I am so amazing. That is so awesome that I can do that in 3 minutes. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, I stayed calm. It was something that happened, you know, and because stuff happens, right? Stuff happens all the time. And I stayed calm. It's like, I'm just going to just do it really quickly. Done. Awesome. You know, and I was timing myself. But the thing is like, you know, a lot of times we get stuck in the energy of trauma, the energy of drama, right? We get stuck in the energy of what's wrong with me, what's wrong with the situation, and judgment, right? We judge everything, unfortunately, right? And so when we get stuck in that, it's hard to see anything else, right? And that's why it's important. One of the things is to take a few deep breaths and come back and be calm, because you cannot fix the situation, you know, with that energy, right?
No, you can't. You have to change it. And if something keeps when those energies keep showing up, it's because we're used to resonating at that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's all vibration and it's all frequencies. So when you're accustomed to that, and if you've got people showing up in your life that are a certain way, that's showing you something, and there is a certain resonant frequency that you're used to, you know, that, or it's, even if it's like, wow, how many times have you done this where I thought I'd really dealt with that and changed that, and yet there's still these threads, these little threads of that frequency still there, and that's all that is showing you. You know, that you can, radio, what do I need to do now to change my vibration, to raise my frequency? And that's what all of this is about. Everything we're talking about, everything all of the healers pretty well are talking about, is to do with raising your vibration, raising your frequency, so that you are not being thrown around. You know, the Hopi Indians, and I don't know whether you've seen this, I'll send it to you, Alara, so you can send it out to people. A beautiful poem was written by a group of elders, and it's all about, in these times that are coming, you know, you need to dive into the stream. You need to be present so that you're not thrown around. Because if you're resisting, if you're in fear, if you're in judgment of yourself, if you're not in gratitude, then you are in a position that's going to get thrown around. And you don't have to be. You don't have to be thrown around continually. And there is a way to tap into that beautiful piece of peace that's inside each one of us. It's not that we have to find it and bring it in. It's here. It's about letting go of everything that stops you accessing it.
Exactly. It's about, it is here all the time and it is within you. It's about allowing yourself to receive it. And it's about letting go of the resistance to being it even, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of time that resistance is fear, and that resistance is just old patterns. And I say I mean, there's a lot, they're old patterns that we're just used to, right? Yeah. And to change those, we do have to not just raise our vibration and frequency, but choose, right? It's about us choosing something different. And choosing something different means first, mentally saying, yeah, I'm choosing this because that stuff doesn't work for me anymore and I see it. So now how can I, bring that into my 3D world? Because you can't just wish it, want it, say it. You have to take action in this 3D world.
Absolutely. You got to work on this. It's so interesting because I talk about this with clients and people a lot that come into programs and stuff. You actually have to do the work. It's like, yes, there are gifts that people have and can clear stuff and you feel great. But I'll say to people, how many programs have you done? Yeah, because I've been there and done it as well. You have to actually do the work and even get past thinking of it as work. It's a way of being. It's how you live and grow and engage. They're really, miracles are so possible. I've experienced them as well. But even after that, you have to continue something to sustain that, whether that be a physical healing or a spiritual, emotional healing. If you were to choose the same crap over and over again, it's going to keep showing up. So like you just said, there has to be choice, and you really do have to commit to you. It's not about committing to anybody else. It's about committing to you because you're worth it.
And that's the biggest thing. I tell this to my clients in my groups. It's about how committed are you to you, right? Are you committed to you? Are you committed to your life? Are you committed to being here now? Like, what are you committed to? Are you committed to the fears? Are you committed to the past? Like, what are you committed to? And so, it's really interesting that, right now I'm doing my, 21-day program that I do every month. And, it's always different. And this time it's again different, but I'm doing one of the processes every day for myself, right? It's my own process and I'm doing it every day for myself because it's what I'm asking my clients to do. So do this every day, right? And it's just amazing when you actually do a process every day, like not just, me facilitating, but actually me receiving then as well every day.
Absolutely.
It's like, wow, it's like, I feel so good, right? But because when you're facilitating, right, as a healer, as a channel, as a whatever facilitator of some sort, you're not fully able to receive because you're working. You are working, right? But then when you go back and you actually do that process for yourself, whatever happens to be, it's a different type of receiving, and it's a different type of being, and that is part of the work. And right now, we're all being called to do our work for ourselves so that we can show up in the world however it is that we want, right?
Yeah. And that can be, it might be on a stage. It might be on a Zoom. It may just be in the garden. Like, it may be in your community. It's not that everybody has to go big. Like big can just be the energy of you being totally you, and present. And it's not about a judgment of how that has to look. Exactly. People that are connecting with the earth and doing that work and may not be working with a lot of people in bodies, that's as valuable as anything else.
And
Yeah.
speaking of, you know, just really quickly, because today is Earth Day in the Northern Hemisphere anyways. So happy Earth Day. And I'm just, you know, so a lot of grid workers and people who work with the Earth's grid systems, they are doing the work today, but they do the work every day, right?
Every day.
But more so, people are doing the actual work today of connecting with the Earth, of connecting to Mother Earth, of saying thank you, being grateful, etc. Right? And it's such a beautiful, you know, it's a beautiful thing to do, you know. But I mean, I wish we could do it every day, right? But you know, if you can connect into Mother Earth today for just a few minutes, please do so. Please, you know, share your gratitude. I was doing it earlier when I went out. I took a picture of, you know, the park where I was at, and so it's just so beautiful, so nice. It brought me to tears of how beautiful this planet is, how beautiful our world is, and how supported we are, and how loved we are. And it's so nurturing, right?
Absolutely.
And so that work, you know,
gift.
sorry, I was just going to say that work that people do with the Earth, a lot of people don't see that. So it doesn't have to be big, like you were saying. It's just for yourself and for humanity and for the planet. It doesn't have to be well known, right? So and it's a huge gift. So for those of you who are doing the work, thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's like, I find for me that the planet and the animals are a surefire way for me to be present and for me to get out of any of the lies that I might be engaged in, whether that's being frustrated with myself or with my partner or something that's going on in front of me on the internet. And I've become very good at, oh, look at that bird. Oh, look out the window. Oh, walk outside and see that plant growing. You know, like it's such a gift. These are the things that are really important. Connecting with your body, like we were saying about that heart brain. So you've got this, you connect up. One of the things with this power of 3 is, the first thing is stop what you're doing. As soon as you notice that you're going to crap, stop, you know, and hand over your heart, because sometimes that physical movement can be so powerful to just, right, hand over my heart. That's then what you're telling yourself is, I am now connecting with my deep knowing, my deep intuition. I am disconnecting the head brain from being the boss. Yeah, carry on. Carry on with all the work that you do that makes me able to move without even having to worry about it. But now I'm in connection with the deepest part of myself. So it's stop, put your hand over your heart and breathe. Yeah. Because if we can have little cues, and some of the people that I've been teaching this to have been saying, like, what, and I've even had clients, you know, send me little messages of stop, hand over heart, breathe. They're finding it really, really useful. And I know I do, like that, just stopping, breathing, connecting, realizing this is the point to get out of my head. Because for some of us, I don't know about you, but I have a head that's super busy.
Yes,
I pick up. Oh my God, I pick up on so much from other people, from the planet itself, and Lordy knows what else. And so if you're one of those people, if you're empathic, probably most of you here are, that head brain can take over. And the thing about empaths is, boy, do we get hit with stuff, but boy, are we super powerful and super able to actually flip that and have it fuel us rather than be destroyed by it. It's just that some of us have not yet remembered how to do that, and we allow that head brain to be the thing ruling. And so this stop, hand over heart, breathe. Now this is the place. This is the place where you can ask questions. You know, you want to choose, you got to ask questions. You got to give yourself things to choose from. And you want to get out of that rut of being stuck or angry or sad. So who am I being right now? Because often we can be in some old pattern. It can be something from our childhood. You know, I love some of the conscious neuroscience research and studies that have been done now, you know, and that thing of up until we're about 6 or 7, we're in the theta state, which is total absorption. And so we still carry things around with us that, and we think that's us, and it's not. That is not us. And that's the stuff that we then, right, well, I always do this. And then we're looking for evidence and we actually stack that up. See, I told myself, see, I knew they said I was this, therefore I am. And we're not any of those things. This whole thing is a construct. So the more that we can get that breathing space, that connection with our bodies, it's the three-way thing. The power of 3 is working on many levels, you know, because it's about the heart, mind, body, universe, really. You know, like we really want to get present with ourselves, because that's the only way to choose to create. That's going to show up, and you know, with a more vibrant life. And I know it because I've done it.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, you can't create just from your head.
No,
right?
Gosh, no.
You have to be present in your body in order to create.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like super important to actually stop, breathe, and be in your body. And I love that question, who am I being? It's like, oh my God. It's like, yes, who am I being right now? And those moments when you're frustrated, in those moments when that fear comes up, in those moments when that lack and scarcity comes up, right? That being unsure of whatever, who are you being? Right? And don't just automatically say, oh, I'm being me when I was like 10 years old. No, ask the question and just let the answer come to you eventually. Not in that moment, because in the moment it's just going to be your mind telling you, oh yeah, it's you back when this happened and that happened and etc. Right?
Yeah. So it's who am I being? Who do I want to be? Because this is the magic of this. We do get to choose. Who do I want to be? Well, actually, I don't want to be a mean ass bitch. I actually want to be kind. I don't want to be grumpy. I want to change that right now. I don't want to be sad. And it's not that trying to avoid everything, right? I can't be sad. It's not about that. But it's also a choice to, you know, I've been going through something with a client and dear friend who lost her son. He jumped out. He committed suicide. And so that's an incredibly intense experience. Yeah. And she has been doing a lot of work on herself, and particularly in the last few months. And it's such a gift to watch her be able to let it go for periods of time and make jokes.
I don't know if I would be able to do that.
You would be, Alara. You would be. Yep. You've got the tools there to be able to do that. Doesn't mean that she's not reeling in pain and that this is like one of the worst things that's ever happened to her.
Yeah.
What it is a choice, and it's been such an honor to be able to be a part of that with her and be the person that's asking questions. Yeah. Not feeding into the sadness. Because it's so easy in this reality to commiserate and, you know, and I'm very, very aware of what I'm saying and when I'm saying it. It's not about not having the ability to care, but what is true caring even, you know, and indulging in constant trauma and drama is killing your body. It's killing your creation. So even when, and these are the times, just like now, these are the times where everything we've been learning, my friends, where this is what it's for. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is what it's for.
Yeah.
It's use it now. And these are really interesting times. And we may not be done with this stuff. Highly likely that we're not done with this stuff yet. I mean, even just social distancing and all of that stuff is going to go on for a long time. And there are big changes around, and there's a lot of confusion and all of that. There is a huge amount of confusion. There is a huge amount of information that doesn't add up, information on all sides of whatever, you know, so having this ability to come into presence and peace and gratitude. This is what we need. This is how we need to be now. It's not just I've got to do this so I can make more money. We got to do this so that we can create a different reality. Yeah. So we have the strength and the resilience. And that doesn't mean we can't cry. One morning I just had a cry for a few minutes with like, oh my God, some of the stuff in this world. Had a cry. Whew, okay. Now I'm on to the next thing. Let that go. Be with it. Acknowledge it. Let it go. Yeah?
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Don't let it be a driving force, you know, in your life now. You know, like sometimes that's not the right word I was wanting to use, but just don't let it get you stuck in another situation. You know, it's always about what do you want to create. And you were saying, you know, about creating a reality. And so you really have to tap into what that looks like for you. And it's not always about, I want $1 million. That's not the reality you want.
No.
You know, to be honest, you don't want $1 million. You want freedom. You want to be able to help people. I don't know, whatever it happens to be, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, so it really is about looking at going within and say, okay, what do I want my reality to look like? What do I want my world to look like? And what can I be or do different now to create that reality? And who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be that is creating that reality and living in that reality?
Absolutely. Yeah. What are my touchstones? What are the really important things to me? How do I want to move through this world? We've got to look at that stuff. That's one of the things I made available for your audience a program that's already been, but I wanted to do something because at this time, a lot of people are having financial difficulties. So I wanted to give something that is a real contribution. We dropped the price really, so it's very, very cheap. But the Sound of Money is this awesome, awesome program that looks at so much more than just money, because it's never just about money, but it brings you into this space and has you looking at questions, not just about money, about really what you want to have in life, who you want to be, and gives you tools and processes to go along with that. Because you know I'm doing work now that looks at that. I did a course a couple of weeks ago over a weekend online looking at those things. Now, how many times have I looked at those things?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I am.
So, and yet, you know, like I got so much out of this. It's a bit like you were saying before, you know, as a facilitator, of course you grow and you receive so much from facilitating. And you need to be in a space where you're not facilitating and actually totally engaging and focusing on you, giving you the space and the time. So, because I would imagine that quite a lot of you here are healers or practitioners, coaches. You know, there would be many roles in that way. And even if you don't do it as a business, I bet you do it just because you're you. And so it's so vital to be feeding. And you know that because you're here on Alara's call. So you know that you need to put stuff in. But we just thought, rather than, I was going to create a new program, which I'm working on, and that will come in the future. Not too far away, hopefully.
So since we're talking about it right now, we might as well talk about it, you know? So it's on the live. If you're on the live page, you can just click on special offer. It does go to Delaney's page now. So, and if you're not
Too
on the live
clever.
page, you can go to alara.at/show/Delaney4. And this is the sound of money upgrade. All right.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you did this last year, I think I was part of it, wasn't I? It's like, this looks so familiar.
I love
I
it.
think I was there.
Awesome.
It's like, I think I did that with you. But anyway, so the special offer is the Sound of Money upgrade. Normally $197. We're offering it to you all right now for $47 because it is a tumultuous time, and a lot of people are being challenged with money right now. And so it's a 4-week program with a bonus 5th call. There's a PDF with questions that open you up to new possibilities with lightness and creation. There's a bonus ACE, which is an activation, clearing, expansion event. So there's 2 recordings for that, Bank Account Bliss and the Money Song. And then there's 2 other bonuses, competition and scarcity, and as well as when your partner isn't choosing what you're choosing. Because sometimes we get stuck in that too. It's like, it's like, what do I do when my partner is not on the same page as me and not choosing the same thing as me, right? So these are all audios that are downloadable, and it's $47. And so just tell us a little bit more about that, Delaney. Is like, what can they expect to not receive per se, but experience with the calls?
So it's a real journey of connecting with money in a way that gets you viewing money as a contribution, and to have that nurturing and caring connection with money. And as we spoke before, everything is vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And so money has a sound as well. And for so many of us, money is not a driving priority. Even though we say we want it, for so many of us, it's not. And
Mm-hmm.
so we got to keep developing that connection with it that allows us to have that nurturing and care with ourselves and with money. And this course goes through, you've got PDFs with questions so that you're getting to connect. There's different things that come through, to do each week, not just the call. There's a lot of clearing as well that comes with this. And we use sound within it as well, because I truly believe sound's so essential.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't ever really silence, is there?
Yeah.
We're not, certainly not while we're in this body, because there's always the sound of your breath.
Yeah.
And there are times you can get your awareness, so you're hearing other things within your body as well. And so people just had great results with this. There's some really great testimonials with the program as
Mm-hmm.
well. I was thinking about doing it again myself as a student.
Right? Why not? Right? Why not?
Maybe we could do it as watch parties.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we should do. So Sadia, I'm going to assume it's Sadia. She's saying, Delaney, I absolutely love the free gift you have given. It really touched my soul deeply. So Sadia, you have your hand raised. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you in case you wanted to add something more to that. Hello?
Hi, thank you so much, Alara. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Delany. How are you?
I'm very good. Lovely to hear your voice, Sadia.
I absolutely loved the meditation that you gave. It just, I was transported into another place.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased. It's something that I'm doing more and more, is that work with the voice. And getting people to tap in with their own sound. And we'll do a little bit of that before we say farewell in a little live event.
Wonderful. Delany, I wanted to ask you about what is it that if you can tell me, what do you see as a block right now in me and receiving? I've done so much prosperity work on myself, but I keep getting shoved into and living in poverty.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know. Something you want to share?
Yeah. The first thing that I could see here is you know, like walls around your heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this and those walls around your heart aren't just stopping you from receiving from outside. It's stopping you from receiving you as well.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
If this program, will it help me?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's so many, just like, and I really want you to take notice of this, okay? It's essential that you start to take notice, and this is for everybody, of where you are receiving, you know, and what you are receiving.
Right.
And the contribution that you are. You know, one of the greatest questions you can begin to ask yourself is, what am I grateful for me for? Not for anybody else, for you. And often people really struggle getting past 2 or 3 things.
I've never thought of that.
I know, so many people haven't. Because this reality tells us that would be selfish or self-centered or misguided. So can you get there that you are, you know, like, no wonder there's walls around your heart, because you haven't even looked at, hey, what am I grateful for me for? So there's a disconnection with the deepest parts of you. And we're working on that right now, to melt those barriers down. And it's good, and I'm hoping that you can feel this, because it's already changed from when I first tapped in. I wanted to cry.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay.
And there's already so much more lightness there. So this is number one, you can actually congratulate yourself, is that you are a fast worker.
Thank God.
Number two, the courage you have. It's big.
Okay. Yes, I'm feeling my heart. It's like I'm sighing deeply, and I'm
good.
Sighing heavily, so I can feel. And I can feel, yes, when I had came on the call, I was feeling anxious, extremely anxious, and I wanted to get on time, because the meditation that the free gift touched me, my soul and the voice, and it made me smile. Like, it made me smile. I was lying in bed, and it made me smile, and I was like, wow, I really need to connect with this person.
Excellent. I'm so glad.
Good. I'm glad, Sadia.
Yes, and I think I want to work further with you. Yeah, and I'm thanking you so much for making it so affordable right now.
Yeah, well, I really looked at it and went, it's got to be
yes,
easy.
Okay. It's lovely speaking to you and connecting with you.
You
Thank
too,
you
sweetheart.
so much, Alara, for bringing Delany here.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Sadia.
Thank you.
Lovely. Now, I just want to comment. Nikki, thank you. I'm truly grateful for my health and love of family and friends. Now, that's really lovely. I'm going to challenge you a little bit, though.
I was going to say the same thing. I love it.
I'm truly grateful for my health. How have you created your health? What have you done to create your health? And love of family and friends. What have you done? What is it about you that creates a life that has the love of family and friends in it? Yeah.
So this is about being grateful for you, about you.
Yeah. And it might feel like, oh, there's not much difference. You wait. You start to look at it from just that different angle of, it's really about you, Nikki. What is it about you that generates that people love you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
I can.
Well, several things, I'm sure. I'm a caregiver, so I give, I do, I love, I treat. I'm just honest, and
you're honest.
I think people feel that, they see that, and they appreciate it. So.
And so for you, Nikki, I can already perceive this. Giving is so much easier for you.
I have a hard time accepting.
Yes, receiving.
Receiving.
And so there is more to this exercise. Please sit with that. Please sit with, what am I grateful for me for?
Ah, okay.
Yeah. 25 things at least that you're grateful for you for. Now, this might take you a few weeks, doesn't matter. Just begin the list and start to really look at it, because it's your first port of call is about everybody else. Yeah?
Yes.
But
oh
I'm
my God,
good.
when you said 25 things, I was like, what? How?
Yeah. Come on.
Where am I supposed to find 25 things?
Well, you can't, then it's time to start working on it, because you've got to be at the center. This truly is about you at the center of your reality.
Yeah.
We have to be able to acknowledge the things about ourselves that are so wonderful and fantastic. And my friends, this is completely foreign to how we've been raised for most of us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, yep, it's a challenge. It's about, gratitude is about everybody else. Gratitude
you
is
first.
about you. And of course, we're grateful.
Yeah.
For the people that contribute to us. I'm grateful for the people that have been mean to me, because they've shown me things. I can be grateful to all of that. But I really, to have peace and to have what we're all asking for, you've got to have this deep, intimate connection with yourself. There she is.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi there.
Yeah. So I really want you to work on this. And if you can, jump on the program, because everything I do always has all of these elements worked in, whether it's about money, whether it's about relationship, whether it's about vibrant living, doesn't really matter. It's going to have all of those elements as well, because everything is interconnected. Money is never about just money. Money is about a whole pile of stuff. Money is an energy. And so it truly is about what we're receiving, what we're not receiving. And so often it's about what we're not receiving about ourselves, the beauty of ourselves.
True.
And so while I've been talking, we're still working on you energetically, Nikki. Okay.
Okay.
All right. To just
Good
crack
luck.
open some of those spaces.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. Was there anything else you
Thank
wanted to
you.
ask or add?
Not particularly, no.
Good.
No.
Well, good to see you. I don't think we've ever seen you before.
Yes, you have.
It's been okay, fine. It's been a while.
Changes the appearance.
Yes, that's true too. Yeah, but good to see you.
Same here. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's it's funny. So I can say for myself, I'm really grateful that I am so quick on the computer. Right? That's something I can be grateful for me. About myself, right? Because like when I fixed that little blip, I was like 3 minutes, I was done. It's like, yay, amazing. So it's like, I'm grateful that I'm that quick, that I can be quick, or I'm grateful that I can problem solve really quickly and, and change things up really quickly. I'm grateful that I'm smart in that way,
Yeah. And probably that generosity of spirit that you have.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
See that? Now
Yep.
see that.
I saw that.
That's just, right? This is
We'll receive that.
super
Yes.
important. It's super, super important that we all get a handle on this. It just makes life easier. It makes all of this work easier as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm just reading. I am feeling as if I'm sitting on a throne. Because you're actually connecting with yourself, honey.
Yeah, I love that, Sadia.
Oh,
that's great.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. And please don't come down.
Stay on the throne.
It's okay.
I should have brought my crown out.
So Mary Nazareth is saying, I'm grateful for me keeping my head above the water when I feel like a recovering victim. This is the third time I've come across Delany, third time lucky. Oh, Mary Nazareth. I
Good.
feel like a recovering victim. Where are you? Do you want to come on and have a quick chat, Mary?
Mary, do you want me to unmute you? Yes, sure. Okay, I'll unmute your audio and then you can unmute your video if you want. Hello.
Lady. Hello, Laura.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Really, really nice to be part of this chat.
It's really, really nice you're here, Mary Nazareth. Third time lucky. I had to speak with you live. Third time lucky.
Yeah, it's been a strange journey with you, actually, Delaney. Yeah, I can't remember where it started, but it was just one of those fortuitous internet, you know,
Awesome.
connections.
That's fantastic. So, Mary, I just want to look here at your sentence. I'm grateful for me keeping my head above the water when I feel like a recovering victim.
Yeah.
Yes, say what you want to say.
I didn't want to write that I felt like a victim because I'm working through that.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm so pleased to hear that. So let's just connect here. And so if you'd put your hand over your heart, everybody could do this for a moment, actually, because we're all here together because we've all got things that we can assist each other with. So stop all the crap for a moment, hand over heart, connect that heart brain to the head brain. And from here on in, whenever you do this, your head brain knows you are stepping into you. And yes, you're going to have to practice this. But hand over heart is the signal, right? I'm stepping into presence and deep intuition. And breathe. Breathe so your belly, like let your belly relax and fill your belly with air too. Yeah? And just feel that space, allow that space. Drop all your barriers. So really, the hand over the heart and the breath is about that deep connection, and then we generate that feeling of gratitude and turn it up as much as possible in every cell, every molecule. And just anywhere, just so that you know, me and my team are working, and in fact, let's call all our light being teams. The energies that are here to contribute to us with consciousness. Just going to put a little sound frequency on while we do this. Is it okay if we go to this now, Alara?
Sure. Yep.
It kind of feels like Mary's the inspiration.
Battery 50%.
Sorry.
Connected to Delany's MacBook Pro 2 and RICHART's MacBook Pro. RICHART's MacBook Pro disconnected.
There we go. Thank you. All right. And breathe. And so we stop, hand over heart, connected the heart brain to the head brain, and that connects us to divine consciousness and gratitude. We've turned up the gratitude in every cell. Janakiano ai. Beautiful. Dropping all the barriers. When you're present, when you're at the center of you and the center of your reality, this is a space of power, not of weakness. This is a power space. You're connecting with you. Good. And allowing that spirit that's you, the being that is you, to expand out beyond your body in all directions. And just go big. Yeah, because your spirit, that's the energy of you that is infinite. And so allow that out hundreds of thousands of miles and kilometers in all directions. And so you're at the center of your body, and at the same time, you're connected and your body is in you. That really gets you out of your head. And that the earth, on this beautiful Earth Day, but every day, the earth is inside your energy field as well. Beautiful. And so let's look at any of the places and spaces where you've held yourself as a victim. All of the programming that has you believing that you can't move beyond being a victim, that it's hard work to let go of being a victim, that you don't deserve, yeah? And all of the fears that go along with that. That you might have to be responsible, that you might have to choose. That if you were no longer a victim, that you wouldn't have a role, that you would be rejected. We hold some very strange, deep things here. So we're just removing these. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out the subconscious programming around victimhood. Yeah? And even when we've done so much work, for many of us, there still will be these little threads. If there's anywhere you blame, there's an element of victimhood. Yeah? And you don't have to make yourself wrong about this. It's just the journey. Excellent. Yawn it off, cry it off, laugh it off. And as we're lifting all of this out, all of the threads and the webs that keep you stuck with this energy, what about we now release everybody, including you, from the obligation to teach you that lesson about being a victim? To teach you the patterns that keep you resonating with the frequency of victimhood. Wow. All of the cages dissolving. And towards you and all those people that have contributed to this, can you now forgive them? Be in a space of allowance. It's all just the journey. And any of the oaths and vows and contracts and agreements that you've got now, it's time to totally destroy and uncreate all of those, to delete, to release. Yeah? We don't need them anymore. Where we're heading now is a different reality, a new reality. So all of the blame, shame, regret, guilt, all of the fear, all of the lies, all of the projections, expectations, all of the broken hearts and broken dreams, the sadness, all of those things that no longer serve you, to release those now and cleanse everything in unconditional love, and all of the hooks and ties and cords. Do this every day. And Mary, make sure you do this every day. Unhook any of those hooks, cords, ties, and plug them, hook them into unconditional love, divine consciousness. You are no longer responsible. Because sometimes it can be people who want to hold us in a place of limitation, but sometimes it's just people who don't even realize that they're throwing energetic hooks into you. You do not need to be responsible for this. Unhook. Plug it in. That's great. I can feel a lot of you doing it. That's awesome. And any of the energetic or soul fragments of yours that have been blown to smithereens with this victimhood, yeah? It's time to pull all of those back to you, have the sovereignty of you, and any that belong to anybody else, return to from whence they came, never to return to you, your field, your body, ever, ever again. That's great. And allow that energy, if you're feeling that energy, whatever it is, even if it's just a little bubble of energy, a little sparkle, a little, allow that to build, turn it up. Turn it up. If you're feeling like that's a bit uncomfortable, turn it up. This is what turning your body on is. Being alive, being vibrantly alive. It's what it is, yeah. And in the place of that victimhood, we're now going to have empowerment. And that you now know the vibration of empowered living, of vibrant living, of having you, of being at the center. Yeah? That you know this really, really well. And you do. And a space and a vibration of not judging you, of being able to let that go. This is not a test. This is your life. This is you discovering who you truly are and what you've come here to contribute. It's not about getting it right and being perfect. It's about getting beyond judging you and being able to acknowledge the dark and the things that, yeah, you'd like to change. And continuing to release and knowing that it's just work. It's just the work we're doing here. That you know the vibration of kindness. Kindness with yourself and nurturing and gratitude. Yeah. Feel that vibration of gratitude to you, for you. Well done. Coming back. But only don't leave it all behind. Just open up your eyes and be with that energy now.
So Mary, how are you doing?
I think I'm still here. That was my throat was wobbling. I came in to sing, Delaney, and I've been using my voice forever. And when you reminded me that it was Earth Day, it just I was racked with guilt, but I was also reminded about the enormity of the connection that we all have with her.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about hooks, my heart, it was as if some of the hooks were twisting. It was feeling really tight. And so on your reminder of staying with that energy, I will do that. Oh, and I have to mention one thing. I live in the UK, and Glastonbury has a very huge place in my heart. And I meditatively journeyed to, there are 3 hills. One of them is called Wirral Hill. The mother, you go to this hill and you lie on her, and she's calling all weary people to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent my victim self there. So she's there
Right.
with the mother for a month at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little key there. You know, you said you sent the victim you there.
Yeah.
Just name her, like whether it's Valerie Victim or whether it's Valerie Victim or Vanetta Victim, because there are all these roles that we play, and it can be fun to give them a bit of a name. You know, Barbara Blamehouse.
It's Sweetheart. Her name is Sweetheart.
Sweetheart
Victim. That's who she is there.
And so when you feel that, you can just now send her there. Keep releasing that, knowing whatever works, because we give you tools, and it's about you taking those and finding the ways that work for you. And what we did then was we actually removed some very deep subconscious programming around that. And now it will be easier to release her. And you have to acknowledge that you want to release her. Yeah? Because we become so in tune with that vibration, and we can value it. There's a big pile of work that can be done around that, where we hold on to that. We just don't have time in this forum to do that.
No, that's and thank you. And I could feel how valuable this was for me and lots of others listening. And I am holding on to this for a while, because she's visiting the other 2 hills in Glastonbury, finishing off at the tour with Morgan Le Fay and the Magic.
Lovely.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you, Alara.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Delaney, and I'll see you in your offer.
Look forward to it. We'll make a connection point with that.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And
thank you,
everybody
Mary.
else on this call.
Yeah, it was a powerful process, and thank you for allowing, yourself to be so vulnerable and to really initiate that process for everybody. I was yawning throughout the whole thing, and yawning and nodding my head. It's like, yeah. So thank you for that, Mary.
It was my pleasure. Yeah. Absolute pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Right. Thank you, Mary. Bye-bye.
Later. Yeah.
And Nikki is saying, powerful energy moving around the back of my head.
Yeah.
Sadia was saying, my goodness, that was so touching, so liberating. I was taken to a painful incident in my adolescence that I was crying profusely and releasing. Felt
Awesome.
narcissistic people's hooks coming out of me and their images flashing in front of me. I'm feeling so peaceful and loved right now. Thank you so much, Delaney, for this marvelous experience.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so good.
That's
And
awesome, Sadia.
when you're feeling that, like you're right in that energy now. So for any of you, you know, who have got a level of peace or a level of space, whatever that is, you know that. Once you know it, you can call that up anytime you wish to. It really is choice. I mean, I still do it. I choose to, I'm going to sulk about this for a while, you know. But the difference now is I know it's actual choice that I'm doing that. And I can flip it like that, and so can you. It truly is choice, because you've experienced stuff. Once you've done it, once you've had that energy, if you've been happy, you can call that happy up anytime. You've been peaceful, you can call that peaceful up anytime. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So does anybody else have any questions for Delaney? You can either raise your hand, or you can type in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself. I usually, you know, say that at the beginning, and you know, didn't quite get there today. But that was like such a, you know, it was, you know, the light language, the moving of energy. I mean, like I was yawning throughout the whole thing, and just the questions you were asking, and you know, it was like, I don't even know. It was Mary says, I'm shaking. Time to sing.
Woohoo!
Good. Sing. Yeah, sing it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it is time.
You know,
And
go ahead.
I just wanted to let people know too, I've got a Facebook group, if you're not in it, called Vibrantly Alive. So click on, you know, you can click there to join that. And because I've got some telepathy and trance talents free stuff coming up as my contribution in this time of COVID madness.
Yes, COVID madness.
So I just wanted to let
it.
people know, if they're doing it hard, and even $47 is not an option for them, that there is some little blasts coming up that they can enjoy in that group.
Awesome. Good. And you know, even with the $47, I think there's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 MP3s. You know, like there's.
It's amazing, truly.
Yeah.
The Sound of Money is like I said, fantastic testimonials from that great course, and it will increase money and wealth in your life, but so much more than just that, and deepen that connection with you, and that getting to know really what it is that you want to be creating.
And that's what it's about. It's about what are you wanting to create for your life. It's not just about, yes, we all need money in this reality. We all need money. We need to pay our bills. We need to put food on the table, pay our rent, etc. We need that, right? But it's also about, what are you creating with your life? What are you doing with your life? Like, who are you being? Who do you want to be, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the questions at the very beginning. Who are you being when the stuff comes up? And you're reacting, and then, you know, who do you want to be? Yeah. What currency is the $47 in US dollars? All my show stuff is in US dollars.
Yeah, it's just US dollars. We might have, do we have global pricing on that, Richard? I can't remember.
Nope.
Like if you're in, like, it's 47 US dollars, and yeah. and if you're from Australia, it's 47 Australian dollars, and if you're from Europe, it's 47 euro. So we do that for peeps, and also it's I love some of the things that happen. What I have found for people, often just as soon as they sign up for the program, they start to get windfalls, little amazing, you know, freebie things, or get that contract, you know, free movie tickets, prizes when they don't usually win things. You know, there's all of that kind of stuff that goes on once you engage in the program. Like I
So,
said,
you know, and those are
I'll
the
look
things
at
that
a point.
start, those are the things that start to happen, you know, if you're willing to receive, right? When you're willing to receive, those are the things that start to happen. But even more can happen. It's not just that. It's like even more can happen. But you have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to engage. You have to be willing to ask those questions about, you know, what am I creating with my life? What do I want to create? You know, like where am I going? Right?
And
Being
even,
fully
you know, a
present.
really good question to look at right now. How old is the person running your financial reality?
That's a good one. How old is
Yeah.
the person currently running your financial reality?
Yeah, how old are you?
Oops.
Yeah, exactly. 4, 7, 16, 2.
Yeah, not 53, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, what can we change? What can we change with that? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like things can change. Are you willing to receive the change? Are you willing to be the change? You know, and you know, a lot of, you know, I just did a process around change, and it's like it's you know, change is, you know, change is a constant, which sounds, you know, not true, but change is the only thing that is always happening. Everything is always changing. So, you know, why would you want to stay stuck in a past reality when we're constantly creating all the time, right? We're constantly creating a new reality every moment with every breath. Do you know that? You know, do you get that you're constantly doing that? Consciously or unconsciously, you are creating a reality with every thought, every feeling, every emotion, with every breath. You know, and so
And that is
don't,
the truth.
yeah, so it's not about focusing on the past and what was and what didn't work, and it's like, okay, let me try that again. No, like, what are you creating now, right? And what, you know, who do you want to be? I love that question. Who do you want to be?
Yeah. And it is, Mary, you know, like acknowledging the victim role that you take on. Like that it doesn't have to be that. And I know that you're not in that space now, that you're changing it. But this is the beauty of choice. We truly are the ones who are choosing what our future is and who we're being right now. It was a really big moment for me when I first really got the handle on I create my own reality. Mm-hmm. And it was hard. Like, I wanted to punch the person that was saying it, to be honest. I was like, what? You know, because I came from very, like, you know, abuse and all sorts of horrific stuff as a child. Yeah. But there was something that resonated, and I'd done so much therapy at that point and was still operating in that victim mode, and, you know, a survivor, and you know, that kind of energy. And
it can be an empowering question if you are willing to receive it as that way.
Absolutely.
Right? It can be empowering if you're willing to receive it that way. Otherwise, you're right, it can just take you into judgment, right? Into resistance.
But if you're there in resistance, like even now, if you're listening to this and you're going, whoa, I create everything, blah, 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 just stop and be with the energy of it and go, okay, so if I do, and that doesn't mean, like I said, I came from a background of horrific abuse. Did I sit there and go, here, abuse me? No. That's not what that is, what when we're saying I create. But I chose that family that I came in for. I know that there were things that I came in to change that they couldn't receive. And it's not about me having to go, oh, you know, I'm responsible. It's not. It's just, in every moment we make choices. So there were choices there that I made that meant that I survived all that. Mm-hmm. And choices where I stepped back in and out of abusive situations for a few years, you know, like it's just being willing to go, hang on, I do have the ability and the power here. All it is a matter of practice and choosing. And we release and we clear. We know all about that. But we can clear till the cows come home. We got to choose.
So I just wanted to acknowledge what you just said right now about goodness, about like choice, right? And what we're choosing. And you're right, you know, it's like, you know, some of you know this already, but I had a horrific, you know, time in the past, and I was younger and so on. But it's not something that I, you know, consciously chose or consciously created. And maybe I was at some point, at some level I did. But it's like what you just said. Now I survived that. So there was a reason why, and this is what is bringing me to tears right now. It's like I did survive that. You know, regardless of what it was and how bad it was, I survived that. So even though there were moments when I didn't feel like I could survive it, but I did survive it. And so that's part of it is like, if I can survive that, fuck, you know, I can, you know, it's like nothing else is like even close, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm awesome. I'm amazing. How courageous was I that I was able to go through all that and survive it? How resilient am I? How, you know, how strong am I? How, you know, all that wonderful stuff is coming up. And so most people don't know my story anyways, but still, it's like, it's just, yeah, I created that reality. Yeah, I chose that. And yeah, I survived it. And here I am now, you know, years
And not
later,
only
and
just survived, you thrive.
I did. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's really, and that process that we just did, you know, that's actually releasing another, you know, a whole other space where you've got stuff locked in there around that. And this is working with that space now. And so for you now, what are you grateful for you for is a priority. Yeah, it's really time. It is really time for you to receive more of you too. You know, when you had that resistance to your own generosity of spirit, they're just saying it's really time for you to receive that. And there are so many light beings working with you right now to actually dissipate all of that.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like enough of that, enough of letting that story and that energy keep me in that space. You know, it's like, yeah, no, I am I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I will just say it because it's like, it's something that needs to be acknowledged and something that needs to be said. Is I'm actually really nice and amazing, you know, and kind, and like you said, generous, you know, and I don't always really fully share that or acknowledge that about myself. I'm not fully grateful for that for myself, for me, right? So I get it.
Up until this point,
in the past.
You weren't.
Up until now.
And now you can be. That's awesome.
Yes, and now I am. So thank you for that. It's like, whew, it's like, I don't like to cry on the call, but sometimes it comes up.
Thank you for the vulnerability that you're choosing right now as well.
Because I'm sure there are others who can really resonate with that too, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I am thriving. You know, I'm not just surviving, I'm actually thriving. And I'm actually really blessed. And I'm so grateful for everything in my life. But mostly, I am really grateful for who I am.
Yeah.
Right? I am really grateful for who I am. And so it is, you know, 25 things. I think I can find 25 things.
Yeah, you can.
Right? You were saying 25, and at the beginning of the call, I was saying, what? 25? Are you crazy? Where am I going to find 25? But now I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can find 25 things.
Of course you
I can find more than 25.
Yay.
Right?
That's really, really awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. Thank you. So Stella, I think you were trying to talk. You're trying to say something, Stella?
Oh.
1 second. Let me unmute you again. Hold on. Because I'm all good now, but I wanted to share that little bit. Oh, I can unmute you. You'll have to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
I'm on unmute now?
Yep. Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
Hi, Stella.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very good.
I have to say to myself, and listening to your program, I am very grateful for myself. I've done very well. I my mother died when I was 12, and I was left with my father and 3 little sisters. And all of a sudden, I became a mom. I had to raise my children, my sisters. And I'm a healer. I do massage. And I don't know, I always been like going forward. It's like, if I feel sad, every time I feel sad or maybe down or depressed, for some reason, somebody calls me to tell me their story or something they're going through. And all of a sudden, hey, I had no problems. I had no reason to be depressed. I have everything. I have a home. I got 4 fantastic kids, 9 grandchildren. I got a lot of friends. So blessed. And listening, I said, oh my gosh, it's true that we go through so many hurdles in life. But if we put our best and be the best we can be, and there's always somebody on the other side that has a harder time than we do. And I every day, even though I've been, I love to go and I have travel and I travel here and there. And I've been here at home and I said, oh my God, everybody calls me, where are you? I'm at home. What else can I be? I can't be any place else right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I try to make it the best I can at home. So I like to tell people that always think that somebody else, when you feel depressed or sad or something, call somebody else and you'll be surprised. You have no problems. When they start telling you their problems, all of a sudden you have none.
That's true, Stella, but normally when you're feeling down, depressed, or whatever, you're not going to call anybody, right? Right. I know that when I'm in that moment, I don't want to call anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. But it's true. If you call somebody, sometimes our problems become much less, and it doesn't really mean a lot.
And that's Stella's way. I love that. Like, Stella, you have created that. Like you said, that whenever you're down, someone will call you. So you have actually created that in your life as your trigger to move beyond your problems and to pull an energy of kindness and caring and gratitude into you. So that's the way that you've created it. Now, that's not going to work for Alara. She's different. And this is this thing of finding the ways that work for us. Like, I'm like you, Alara. That would not do that for me. But I love that Stella has organized her life that it works out like that. And that's your gift. You have this great ability to be able to perceive that and move beyond. And I would love to see your 25 of what you're grateful for you for. Because I bet you actually put other people quite often in front of you. And I reckon that you're a bit of a gem, Stella. And it's time for you to actually start to receive what a gem and a contribution you are.
Thank you. I do. I gotta say this because a lot of people don't love themselves. I love myself by what makes me happy, either going to the spa or getting my nails done or getting my hair done or massages. Since I give massages, but it's very few people that do what I do, but it doesn't matter. The point that I do it. Like yesterday, we had a day of beauty here. I have a adopted daughter that is a esthetician. So she came over and gave us the nail. Me and my girlfriend, we lived together. She gave us, she did our nails, our toenails, cut my hair. I mean, we had a fantastic day and we ate, the 3 of us, and it was, I always find a place, we can't get out, but we can, if we know somebody that is very close to us, we can make it a fun time.
Yeah.
And good for you.
Good on you.
For you that you like. I
Yeah.
love get a bathtub, get in the bathtub. I know a lot of people don't like to get in the bathtub. I get in the bathtub. I put
You do what works for you, Stella. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's where the happiness comes from.
Yeah, good job. No, you're doing awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
I am going to
Thank you.
have to actually say
Thank you.
goodbye because I have an appointment coming up very shortly. I didn't realize.
No,
the
this
time.
was so awesome, Delaney. I mean, we had such a wonderful time. The meditation was beautiful. Oh my goodness, the conversation, the questions, everything was so much fun. You know, and I know it's like really early in the morning for you, but thank you so much. This brought up so much, and I think it gave everybody a bit more clarity too on themselves and what's really important for them, right? And especially about, you know, when stuff is coming up, who are you being and who do you want to be, and what are you grateful for you? Not what are you grateful for in the world, what are you grateful for in your life, but what are you grateful for about you, right? We don't ask that question enough. So thank you. That's beautiful. So,
and remember the power of 3. Stop, hand over heart, and breathe.
yes,
Gratitude.
exactly.
And
that will change everything.
really does. Works like a treat. It's been so
absolutely
delightful. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for showing up. And when you purchase the program, if you purchase the program, you'll receive an email. Please send me an email so we're in connection.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, so much. This was a wonderful call. Thank you for your questions and comments and feedback. Thank you for sharing this time with us. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.